If your lawn feels spongy when you walk on it, or water just sits on top instead of soaking in, you've probably already been told the fix. Rent a power dethatcher, or pay a lawn service $200 or more to come rip that thatch layer out of your yard. Here's what almost nobody tells you. For most lawns, that entire expensive process is optional, because there's a $20 bottle you can spray on your lawn instead that breaks the thatch down for you. No renting a machine, no ripping up your yard, no bill in the hundreds. So today I'm going to show you exactly what thatch actually is, why it builds up in the first place, and the cheap, easy way to get rid of it without ever touching a power rake. Plus, the one watering habit that quietly builds thatch back up the moment you clear it, which is the reason so many people fix this once and then watch it come right back. Stick around, because that habit is the difference between a one-time $20 fix and paying for this every single year. And tell me in the comments, does your lawn feel spongy or bouncy when you walk across it right now? Let's start with what thatch actually is, because most people picture it as just old grass clippings sitting on top of the lawn. And that's not quite right, which is exactly why mowing and bagging your clippings doesn't fix it. Thatch is a layer of living and dead stems, roots, and other plant tissue that builds up between the green grass blades and the soil surface underneath. A thin layer, under about ½ an inch, is actually healthy. It holds a little moisture and cushions the lawn like mulch. The problem starts when that layer builds up past around 3/4 of an inch, because at that point, it turns into a dense, spongy mat that blocks water, air, and fertilizer from ever reaching the soil and the roots below. Water hits it and runs off or sits on top instead of soaking in. Roots start growing up into the thatch layer instead of down into real soil, which makes your lawn far more vulnerable to drought and heat, and the whole yard develops that spongy, bouncy feel underfoot. Left unchecked, thick thatch is one of the biggest reasons a lawn looks thin, stressed, and patchy, even when you're watering and fertilizing it correctly. So here's the part that surprises people. Thatch isn't caused by leaving grass clippings on your lawn after mowing. As long as you're not scalping it, clippings break down fast and barely contribute to thatch at all. Thatch actually builds up when grass produces stems and roots faster than the microorganisms in your soil can break them down. And there is one specific habit that speeds this up more than almost anything else: frequent shallow watering. When you water a little bit every single day, you keep the top inch of soil constantly damp, which pushes grass roots to stay shallow instead of growing deep, and it creates exactly the kind of moist, compacted surface environment where thatch builds up fast, and the microbes that would normally break it down struggle to survive. Overusing fast-release synthetic fertilizer does something similar, forcing rapid top growth that outpaces decomposition underneath. This is the habit I mentioned at the start. You can clear out every bit of thatch you have right now, but if you keep watering shallow and daily afterward, you are simply rebuilding the same spongy layer all over again, and you'll be right back here next year wondering why the problem returned. Now let's talk about how you actually know if you have a problem worth fixing, because not every lawn needs this. Grab a trowel or a small shovel, cut a simple wedge out of your lawn a few inches deep, and look at the cross-section. You'll clearly see the green grass blades on top, the soil at the bottom, and in between them a brown fibrous layer. That's your thatch. If that layer measures under ½ an inch, leave it alone, you're fine. If it's pushing 3/4 of an inch or more, that's when it's actively hurting your lawn's ability to take in water and nutrients, and that's when it's worth doing something about. Quick heads up before I give you the actual fix, because this next part is the one that saves you the most money on this entire list. The cheap spray option almost nobody tries first, and exactly when it's not enough, and you genuinely do need the bigger tool. So stick with me. Here's the move almost everyone skips straight past: a liquid dethatching product. These are sold as thatch and debris buster type sprays, usually built around humic acid and specific enzyme or microbial blends, and you apply them with a regular hose end sprayer, the same way you'd apply a liquid fertilizer. A typical bottle runs around $20 and covers a good-sized residential lawn, sometimes more depending on the product's concentration. Instead of physically ripping the thatch out of your lawn with tines or blades, these products work by feeding and multiplying the population of microorganisms already living in your soil, the same organisms whose job is to break down organic matter, so they consume the thatch layer from within over several weeks, rather than tearing it out in one violent pass. You spray it on, water it in according to the label, and you let biology do the actual work. No rented equipment, no yard torn up and looking rough for weeks afterward, and it's a fraction of the cost of hiring it out. Now, to be fair to you, here's when the $20 spray genuinely isn't enough, because I'm not going to pretend one bottle fixes every lawn. If your thatch layer is over an inch thick, if it's been building for several years, or if you're dealing with a large area on a tight timeline before a big event, or before overseeding, a liquid product working slowly through biology may not move fast enough for what you need. In that specific case, mechanical dethatching, either a rented power rake or a core aerator that pulls plugs and physically disrupts the thatch, genuinely is the better tool, and that's when hiring it out or renting equipment for an afternoon is worth the money. But here's the key point. That's a small minority of lawns. For the average yard with a moderate, 1/2 to 3/4 inch thatch problem, the cheap spray option handles it, and most people never even find out that option existed before they paid for the expensive one. Let's talk timing, because this genuinely changes your results. The best window to dethatch, whether you're using the spray or going mechanical, is during your grass's peak growth period, so it can recover quickly afterward. For cool season lawns like fescue, bluegrass, and ryegrass, that's early fall or early spring. For warm season lawns like Bermuda, Zoysia, and St. Augustine, that's late spring into early summer. Treating right before your grass's strongest growth phase means it fills back in fast, instead of sitting stressed and thin. And here's the step that actually prevents you from ever needing this fix again, mechanical or liquid. Fix the watering habit that built the thatch in the first place. Switch from frequent shallow watering to deep infrequent watering. Water less often, but water long enough that it soaks several inches down into the soil, encouraging roots to grow deep instead of staying shallow near the surface. Most lawns do well with about 1 inch of water total per week, split across 2 or maybe 3 deep waterings, rather than a light sprinkle every single day. Deep watering pushes root growth downward, keeps the surface from staying constantly saturated, and keeps your soil microorganisms active and able to keep breaking down organic matter naturally the way they're supposed to. This one change is the difference between clearing your thatch once and being done with it versus paying for this fix every single year. Let me line up the mistakes people make with this one. The first is assuming thatch comes from grass clippings and obsessively bagging every mow. That's not the actual cause, and it just means extra yard waste for nothing. The second is jumping straight to renting a power dethatcher or paying for a service without ever checking whether your thatch layer is even thick enough to need it. Cut that test wedge first. The third is doing a mechanical dethatch and then going right back to daily shallow watering, which guarantees the thatch comes right back within a season or two. And the fourth is dethatching at the wrong time of year, stressing the lawn right when it has no ability to recover and fill back in. So here's the whole thing pulled together. Thatch over 3/4 of an inch chokes off water and nutrients to your roots, and it's built by fast top growth and shallow daily watering outpacing what your soil's microbes can break down, not by grass clippings. Cut a test wedge to see if you actually have a problem. If you do, reach for a $20 liquid dethatcher first and let biology do the work, and save the rented power rake for the rare severe cases. Time it to your grass's peak growth window so it bounces back fast. And most importantly, switch to deep, infrequent watering afterward so you're not quietly rebuilding the exact same problem you just paid to fix. Do that and a spongy, water-shedding lawn becomes a thick, healthy one that actually drinks in the water and fertilizer you're already paying for $20 instead of $200. If this saved you from an unnecessary bill, do me a favor and hit subscribe. This is Yardworthy, where we show you how to get the yard you want without wasting money. I'll see you in the next one.